Hey everyone, welcome to Across the Ditch and Sea. My name is Laura and I'm so glad you're here today. Well, it's been about a week and a half since I've been out in the garden. That is kind of the cool thing about a winter garden is it doesn't require daily attention like summer gardens can at times. So it's been raining on and off, so that is one thing that has helped me not have to visit the garden quite so often because the good Lord above has been watering it for me. But I went reverse. I went down to the garden a while ago, pulled the covers off just to check, see how things are growing. They're growing really well, but just because I have created the most perfect environment for growth underneath the frost fabric, there are a lot of weeds. So I'm going to be out there chopping weeds today, but I just wanted to show you the progress and show you how things were going or growing. So I'm going to take you along with me. All right, so here we have the big garden. Our garlic is growing really well. I need to get out here and put some fertilizer on it, but it is doing really good. Garlic here too. Cabbage growing. This cabbage is getting big. I'm so excited for when it finally heads out and we can start harvesting it. Let's see, I'm having to look at my tags because I can't remember everything, what's what, and the leaves look so familiar to one another. This is broccoli right here growing. Walking down, some more cabbage. Lots of cabbage, little onions growing right along. I've got to get in here and get these weeds pulled because the thing about garlic and onions is they do not like competing with weeds. This cabbage right here, I have had a bug or something get in here. I'm gonna have to figure out exactly what is eating. Oh, I see, right there. Let's see if you can see it. Little slug. All right, so I'm gonna have to put some sort of protective measures against slugs out here before it eats up my crops here. Yeah, everything's doing really well. There's more cabbage and broccoli over on that side. Let me see if I can walk back up real quick. There are a lot of weeds out here. I have got to get these things chopped up today. So we have a few beets growing, even though most of my seed washed out. We did have a few beets. There look to be about 10 that have survived out here. So I'm gonna get these weeds pulled up around them so they can grow. And then there goes my collards. They're growing slowly but surely. But yeah, that is the big garden and how it's doing. I'm gonna get out here and get these weeds chopped up. Well, the garden is weeded. I'm gonna get it covered back up. I did not weed the walkways. I will do that another day. But I got the weeds up from around the garlic and from all of the plants. When I cut the weeds or chop the weeds, I typically will leave them in the grass to decompose. They'll decompose, hopefully add some nutrients back to the soil. If there are large clumps of them, kind of like right over here, I was over here somewhere chopping and just came into a large clump of them, so I tossed it into the walkway. That way it's not just sitting right there. But these guys are doing good. I'm gonna get some fertilizer sprinkled on the garlic here soon. But for now, I'm gonna cover these guys back up and get them tucked in for bed. All right, so I am back at our backyard garden now, and I'm gonna pull the covers off, check on things, do a little bit of harvesting. I think I have some rutabagas ready and some sugar peas and radish. I'm gonna harvest those and just kind of check and see how everything else is doing. Hoping maybe I have some lettuce ready to harvest, because it would be super awesome to have a fresh salad tonight. I did want to chat with you a little bit. You heard me earlier say that it has been a week and a half since I've been in my garden. That is the beauty of a winter garden, is once you have it planted, just keeping it watered, it doesn't require a whole lot of maintenance. Your pest pressure is fairly low because it's colder, so most of the bugs and stuff that you deal with tearing up your plants in the summertime, they're gone. They don't like the cool temperatures. You still have some to deal with. Like you saw, I discovered I had a little bit of a slug problem earlier, but that's pretty easy to handle. So I'm gonna go out in a little bit and put up some anti-slug mechanisms, which I will show you. But that, like I was saying a while ago, one of the beauties of having a winter garden is it is very hands-off. The wintertime, things grow more slowly, the pest pressure is down, it doesn't require quite as much watering because you don't have to deal with the heat, and the plants in general are fairly hands-off. There's not a whole lot that you have to deal with them. And if you're wondering why I keep turning my head, there's like 2 squirrels going crazy to my left. But yeah, so for those who would love to start a little adventure with gardening, but they feel like maybe the traditional gardens that they're used to seeing, that they think of, like your summer garden, would be just too much work, try a winter garden. Very hands-off. You can just start with a few little basic plants like radish and lettuce, which are really easy to grow, and then move into your sugar peas and your broccoli and your cauliflower and stuff when you start getting more comfortable. But it's a fairly simple and very minimal time consuming garden in the wintertime. Well, I'm gonna get to work back here checking on things and do a little bit of harvesting. So one of the things I did want to mention is over the past week and a half, most of the nights our temperatures were down at or below freezing. We had a few nights where the temperatures got down to like 25, but for the most part they were in the upper 20s, low 30s. So I think the garden has done really well with those freezing temperatures. I kept the frost fabric over everything except for my sugar peas, and then some of my red radish the cover blew off of, and I didn't realize it because I was at work and so they were left exposed, but they've done really well. I've been able to harvest a lot of radish out of that area. I think they actually really liked that frost and those cooler temperatures. But I did want to show you my sugar peas. These the plants themselves do really well in the frost. However, I'm going to flip my camera around here in just a moment, and I'm going to show you some stuff on the pea pods. So the plants as a whole look really well, look really healthy, but I will show you, this is what a good healthy pea pod looks like as far as coloration. I hope you can see that pretty well. And then this is one of the pea pods that got touched by the frost and the freezing temperatures. Not so much the frost, but exposed to freezing temperatures for a few nights. It still tastes fine. It's just not pretty. But the pod itself still tastes really good. So I've got several like this, but then these are some that have been growing since our temperatures got back above freezing. I do have a lot of blossoms still. These plants are still producing blooms, still growing peas. I almost got hit by something. I don't know, did the frost do that or did a bug do that? I don't know. A couple of them like that. I'm thinking the frost did that, or the freezing temperatures. I keep saying frost, but the freezing temperatures. But for the most part, the plants are doing really well. Yeah, I'm thinking that was the freezing temperatures that did that, because that is all over the place. So these just did not do good. But the plants themselves still throwing out blossoms, still growing beans. So I can't really complain. They did really well overall. So I'm gonna pick some of these and take them to my neighbor who said that she loves sugar peas. So I'm gonna go take her some real quick. I still do love the blossoms on these. Aren't they beautiful? Look. Aren't they beautiful? I love radish. I love radish. This excites me so much. Those are my peas. I have to show you guys something. I've tried several times to grow Brussels sprouts in the past with very little success, but fingers crossed, we're crossing. I want to show you something. I'll get down in here. See if it will move. I got a leaf in my face, I can't see. Do you see that little dot right there at the tip of my finger? That is a Brussels sprout growing. Ah, I'm so excited. I have never had even a Brussels sprout to form, so this is exciting. Yay! There's several of them that have the little Brussels sprouts growing in the armpits. So I'm so excited. Yay! My broccoli is getting huge. Hang on. I got a rock in my shoe. My broccoli is getting huge. It still has not headed out or started, but I feel that as big as these plants are, it is going to be any day now. What do you think? What do you think? I'm thinking so. But, hey, I'm sorry. I'm like crazy excited about that little Brussels sprout. These carrots are doing really well. I had a couple people ask me why I keep my winter stuff covered up, because it's winter and they're pretty hardy. And it's just because this is my first time doing a winter garden on this scale, and I don't want to fail. And I know part of gardening is the risk of failure, and there will be failure, but I've been so excited about this garden this year. It's been doing so well, and I feel like if I can do something on my end to help it along and to help keep it from struggling, so maybe it'll stand a chance, especially since it's been like colder than it usually is this time of year where we're at. It's been a little bit colder than usual. I feel like if I can do my part to help it along, then maybe it'll be successful. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. I know that in gardening there is going to be failure. Trust me, I've had my fair share of it, but I just want to do my part to help it. Plus, on those bitter cold days, I know that these guys are protected. But these radish, I have harvested, I don't know if you remember from previous videos how thick this bed was with radish, and I have done succession planting, so I would have a bunch of radish here planted, and then a week or so later plant some more, maybe a week or two later plant more. So I still have radish growing at the same time I'm harvesting. This right here, these are watermelon radish. This is my golden, I don't know, I can't pronounce it correctly, Heloise, I don't know, but these are golden radish. They're yellow. I got them at Haas Tools, and then I've got some watermelon radish mixed in here also. So when you cut these, try to get it focused, when you cut these open, they're like white with a little bit of a green tint on the outside, but when you cut it open, it's like pink, like a pink starburst on the inside. They're absolutely beautiful. But yeah, these are doing good. My daisy finally bit the dust. It held on through several of our frosty days, but then when we just had that bitter cold freezing stretch, it finally said goodbye. Rutabagas are doing good. I mistakenly pulled one a little too early. Kale that I planted here is growing slowly. Focus does not want to work. There we go. Slowly but surely that kale is growing. And check out the cabbage. It looks like cabbage. Growing. Got 3. There's one over there. These are the 2 that you saw in previous videos that got tore all to pieces by bugs, but they are doing really well now. It's really all that I've uncovered so far. Started uncovering the lettuce. See if I can work on that. I did have some nights. I've got to figure out how to kind of anchor down the sides without like attaching it to the wood. But anchor down the sides of this frost fabric because it is blowing up and blowing off on the particularly windy days. We've had an abnormal number of windy days too. Can't figure that one out. But I've had like random things like broken pieces of concrete and my sprinkler, things like that, trying to hold it down. Nice! I tell you, it's 2 weeks before Christmas, but pulling back the frost fabric on a 65-degree day. It is warm today, first warm day we've had in a while. But pulling back this frost fabric on a warm day is like opening presents. Look at that beautiful, beautiful romaine lettuce growing. I love it. And the spinach, a little spinach growing. Some of these are the ones that I direct sowed and some are ones that I transplanted. These guys are doing so good. Let's see what else is under here. That board right there, I used an anchor and it fell over. And I don't know if it crushed any of my plants. Whoa, look at that. Whoever's watching this video is gonna be like, she is crazy. Getting excited over lettuce growing. Oh man, look at that, guys. Look at all that lettuce. So, this is actually not lettuce growing. I planted something here and I can't remember what it is now. I'll have to go back and look at my little chart. But this is a butter crunch lettuce. This lettuce is really good. Lots of romaine. I love romaine. Yep. Woo. I saw that stick. I thought it was a snake. Yeah, that little guy got crushed, but we can still eat them. This romaine got crushed, but it'll be fine. This is the Tom Thumb lettuce. This is actually as big as this head of lettuce is gonna get. See it compared to my hand. Stuff on my hand. So it's about the size of my palm, a little bit bigger. But there's a tiny head of lettuce. That's as big as it's gonna get. But it's cute. So I'll probably harvest that tonight. I got a couple of those. Give them a good harvest with a little bit of that butter crunch. I'm just spinning y'all all around. I hope no one's motion sick. Let's take a look under here. Ooh, look at this. My foot is caught. There we go. Oh wow. Ooh. Something got a hold of that one. My goodness, it ate those leaves. I bet whatever it is the culprit. He's right here. Focus. I do not know what you are. I don't see any bugs. It's just like eggs. I don't know. Does anybody know what those are? They're like little, I don't know, it's like little poo balls. I know that's gross, sorry. See if I can get the light on you just right. Does anybody know what this is? It's eating my cabbage. I'm gonna have to pull that out. My focus back right. Those are baby Brussels sprouts growing. My more mature plants that I showed you a while ago are over there. Got one peeking out right here. Just check on the cabbage on this side. This is that purple-headed Chinese cabbage I have planted. And a random onion that has decided to grow. Oh yeah, doing good. Doing good. Getting big. Yay. Let's go to the, let's go check on this cow real quick. I just find random objects around the yard to weigh down my beds or weigh down the fabric. Hot dog. We're gonna have kale soon. Can actually probably go ahead and harvest some of it. Trying to get out of the sun so my shadow will not be cast. Look at that. That kale has gotten big. So has my cilantro. Oh, I love cilantro. Awesome. Oh. Let's see what this is underneath it. It's like a chunk of dirt. Wonder how that got up there. I bet a child had something to do with it. That's okay. Oops. Tried to weigh my foot down with that. Oh. I should take this one off so you see. Woo! Hang on. I'm doing this with one hand. It's a little bit difficult. Alright. So the kale that I planted here is finally starting to take off. I think it was just waiting for it to get a little bit cooler outside. This is got some of my purple sharp-headed cabbage here too. Still on the little side. The turnips I planted over here didn't really take off. Not sure why. I've got a few hanging on right there, but they haven't really taken off and done anything. Not sure why. But this is my purple red mustard greens. These are from some free seeds that I got from Baker Creek. Came with a seed order that I placed. Whoa! Look at that! Ah. Check that out! Once again, I'm getting in the sunlight. Man, it's amazing how much this stuff grows. How quickly it'll grow. Look at just the coloring of those leaves. Look at that. Hang on, let me get focused. Look at that. That is beautiful. Try to get you focused in here, y'all. I'm not a very good person with a camera. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. This excites me so much. It's so pretty. I am not a fan of mustard greens, but I'm a practice what you preach kind of person. And so when we go to harvest these and prepare them, I'm going to try them. I always teach my kids, even if you don't like something or you don't think you're going to like something, at least give it a try. You never know. Plus your taste buds change over time. So even though I personally am not the biggest fan of kale, I know, collective gasp by everybody. Every time I cook kale and my family eats it, I will eat at least a little bit of it, just so they'll see that I'm still trying it, and hopefully it will set a good example for my kids. So I'm going to do the same thing with the mustard greens. Alright, got one more bed to uncover here. This is cauliflower. I don't want to uncover. I don't like uncovering the end where my paneling is. It just makes it that much harder to cover back up. So we'll go to uncover this end. Just waiting to like pull these off and see one of them. I was just getting ready to say I'm ready to pull these off and see one heading. Look. Come on, camera, focus. I hope y'all are getting a good laugh. Look, y'all. Cauliflower. It is finally forming a head. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, y'all, I'm so excited. I'm like crazy excited. Do I have any more? Oh, I'm just gonna have to pull this one off. I'll do it a bit later. Okay, I don't see any of these other ones. They're still kind of on the small side, but I have a head of cauliflower. Oh, that is so exciting. Hello there. Oh, that makes me so happy. All right. Well, this is my, I gotta get these weeds pulled. This is snowball cauliflower. I got these seeds from Haas Tools. I come over here and check on my graffiti cauliflower. It also came from Haas Tools. It is a purple cauliflower, and it is growing really well. I planted these several weeks behind those, so these guys are still really little, but my feet were caught up. But they're growing really well. They've doubled in size. And my chives, my Chinese chives, are doing good. Well, this has been an exciting trip into the garden today. A lot of fun surprises. I guess I should go and cover this bed. I'm not expecting too much on my final bed because I had turnips planted here and some, like one little thing of cilantro. And just my turnips have not done good. I don't know why. I'm sure it's something I've done, but gardening is an experiment. Let's get this pulled off. Got a couple of turnips back there growing. Again, the cilantro is doing well. But I do have some turnips growing over there. So we'll have a few. That's cool. I'll take it. We'll take it. Well, I guess I need to get out here and get some of these weeds pulled. So we'll quit stealing. Ow. I'm gonna go put gloves on too. Quit stealing vitamins from my plants over here. I'll just work one of my vines. Patience goes a long way. I'm not very patient when it comes to pulling weeds. Okay, well, awesome. This has been a fun trip into the garden. A lot of wonderful surprises. I'm wondering if I remove this clothespin and actually look at my oldest broccoli, if maybe, just maybe, there's one surprisingly here. Let's go take a look on the other side. Oh, I can't remember if I showed you my carrots. Artichoke's still hanging on. Carrots doing well. Have some little ones coming up right here. And then these are ones that I have sporadically planted. This is like my oldest one. It's doing really well. Let me get over here. Try not to fall amongst all this fabric. Okay, no broccoli surprises that just like stand out, but this broccoli is big, so I feel like it is going to start heading like any oh oh look, Let me try to get y'all in here. I cannot see. There we go. One day, I will get good with the camera. There is a tiny broccoli head. Hot dog. I'm so excited. Yes. Alright, enough of me being crazy. I'm excited. Stuff is growing. We're finally starting to get some actual produce out, which we've been getting produce thanks to the sugar peas and my radish, but it's awesome to see other stuff finally producing, like the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts and the cauliflower. It excites me a lot. I am so happy. I am so very, very happy. Well, that is going to do it for today. I've come inside to cook a meal for my family. The excitement of the garden has worn me out. Total joke. I'd stay out there all night if I could, but I need to cook something and do a little bit of gift wrapping for the Christmas holiday that's coming up in 2 weeks. So thank you so much for joining me. I plan to post another video next week highlighting the progress of the garden and some other cool stuff that is going to be going on at that time. Once again, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you come back to see me again. Thanks.